talking about, I want to talk a little bit about the company, the products for those who are new to Inflectra and Rapise, give you a bit of an overview of who we are, what we're doing, and how we're changing the software testing industry. Then I'm going to talk about AI. How is AI changing software? And if you follow us on LinkedIn, you'll see there's been a lot of crazy changes in software testing on AI. I was on a panel last week with Jonathan Wright of Keysight, with a lot of interesting people there. AI is changing weekly, if not daily, and testing is going to be a large part of how that change impacts the software industry. Once we talk about some of those big trends, we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive then into the latest version of Rapise 8.3, which is chock full of new AI features and some other features as well, with a live demonstration of those from my colleague. So to kick us off, from Inflectra, we as a company believe in quality. We've been in business for 18 years. Our products have been around, helping customers deliver quality solutions for that long. So I think we have a good lens on why software testing is so important and ultimately why quality is important. We really believe that quality is the key outcome. Testing is an activity, quality is the outcome. So that's, I think, a really important thing for us, and it's part of our mission on what drives us in business every day. So, and as a company, we go one level further. We believe that when you're building software and systems, there should be no single point of failure. We should not accept that software has bugs, that software has failures. We should not accept that we have major outages, telecommunication systems go down, the CrowdStrike issue that people know about. IT is becoming the backbone of the world economy. It is too important to fail. And with AI helping to develop systems, it's even more important. We need to be able to deliver quality software. We're always going to have to deliver it at speed, but we need to be able to do it at the lowest possible risk. And we believe you can have all three: quality, speed, and low risk. This is our platform. The platform consists of our Spira platform and Rapise. The focus of today's webinar is on the bottom purple segment, which is Rapise, our test automation tool. But it sits on top of the Spira Foundation, which is our lifecycle management solution, Spira Test, Spira Team, and Spira Plan. And they all work together to help improve quality across the entire lifecycle. Focusing specifically on Rapise for a second, these are some of the key benefits. It is a cross technology automation tool. It can test everything from web, mobile, desktop, Java apps, APIs, ERP systems. We've got some logos at the bottom like Salesforce, Dynamics, iOS, Android, all the major browsers, desktop apps, Java apps, weird complex apps that mix these all together. When you have the most tough testing challenges, Rapise is the tool that can handle all of them for you. Some of the unique pieces are that it is completely codeless and scriptless, yet it also does have a full coding engine. So you can mix and match the team members on your team who may be developers or maybe manual testers, and they can work together on tests. And because of this unique approach where you're blending the best of codeless and the best of traditional scripted testing together with AI, we get 35% faster testing, 40% productivity boost over other methods, and a 45% better ROI. That's on top of over other automated testing, which itself is going to give you a benefit over pure manual testing. Some of the differentiators are right here. I've already talked about some of those. The typical users of Rapise will be everyone from an automation engineer to a test lead. Even as you start to get into the AI-driven testing, it could be a BA or a manual test that can do a lot more. AI is making it much easier and reducing the barrier of entry for test automation. These are some of the benefits. In particular, it's AI-driven. We'll talk about that in a minute. We can generate code dynamically from natural language. We've got the ability to do this human code transition when you connect it with our Spira tool for requirements and test management. You can take a requirement and drill all the way down to test cases and test automation. We also have the ability to do hybrid testing, where I mentioned before, you can test multiple different technologies in the same stack. And we've got a whole library built of accelerators. So if you're dealing with a complex app like Salesforce, which is actually quite hard to test, you don't have to do it from scratch. We've got a robust set of libraries for all these major applications that we come across commonly, and we have them available for you. So you can leverage that and not have to build it from scratch every time. And when those applications change, our libraries are updated for you. So let's talk a little bit about AI. AI has dramatically impacted the software lifecycle. This is our classic DevOps lifecycle. And right now, AI is being applied across the entire cycle. Now, it may be currently applied unevenly, which I'll talk about in a second. But ultimately, in order to get the maximum benefit of AI, you're going to have to apply it across the entire lifecycle. There's no point having, as we're seeing, Copilot tools that do a bunch of development and speed up development, and thus increasing the speed of the creation portion, the green. If you do that, but your planning is slow, your testing is slow, your deployment is slow, and everything else is slow, you've just created more bottlenecks elsewhere. And the classic Kanban theory is, unless you have improvements everywhere, you've got improvements nowhere. And moving on then to how is AI being affecting code? Well, a lot of different ways. First of all, this came from one of my colleagues at Fujitsu, Andrew Palmer, one of our partners. He posted this on LinkedIn a few months ago, which was quite shocking when I saw it. And I think I've gotten used to it, that when ChatGPT was released, the volume of traffic on Stack Overflow, a common and popular website, has decreased about 60%. So that means people are no longer going there. They're going to AI tools instead. Which you mean, and I'm sure other similar websites are equally impacted. That means where people were getting ideas and information directly from humans and real-time human feedback, we're now using AI to do that. That has meant that we have seen across the different customers we talk to and across our partners and their customers, a 300% increase in developer productivity using Copilot at the developer level. However, we've seen a 400% decrease in code quality at the same time. And if you remember software testing before AI, I don't think people ever said that testing was waiting for development. It was typically the bottleneck. So we've now taken the bottleneck and made it the bigger bottleneck. That doesn't work so well. So as I mentioned, as we are turbocharging developer productivity, we're now getting more bottlenecks elsewhere in the requirements, in the testing, in the validation, and all the other pieces, documentation even. So AI is making testing more important than ever. And especially when you look at native AI systems or machine learning systems, where you're not having explicit requirements. You're giving it a software algorithm training data and it's inferring the requirements. We don't necessarily know what the boundary conditions, we don't know exactly what the use cases are. Software may be learning things that we didn't anticipate. You've got implied requirements that it's self-learned that are buried deep in a system. We need to make sure we test those. So the needs for testing have increased at the same time as the volume for tests has increased. So the question then is, how do we supercharge the rest of the SDLC to keep up? And this is also being magnified by the fact that testing is not adopting AI as fast as development is. This was from the Planet, which was another one of our partners in Australia and the UK, Global Quality Index. They're reporting that only 26% of testing organizations are actively using AI in any capacity. 14% are planning to use it in the next 1 to 2 years. That's still only going to be 40%. So way behind the development side of things, where I'm sure you're going to see much higher numbers. Whether that's official or unofficial, developers are using Gemini, Copilot, maybe Amazon Q, whatever things they have available, they are using them, whether officially sanctioned or not. So we do know that's happening. The Stack Overflow numbers just prove it. So what do we have in our platform? As I mentioned, we have to turbocharge the entire life cycle. Well, the focus of this demo is on the right-hand side, but I do want to talk a little bit about the left-hand side as well. On our Spira platform, we have many AI use cases already live in the system. We can generate from a single requirement, we can generate test cases, tasks, BGD scenarios, user stories, and a variety of other artifacts, tasks, and things, and risks as well. And our future roadmap is to expand upon the kinds of data we can create, also using different models and using the data in Spira to improve traceability and use that to improve the quality of what we generate. We're currently using a variety of different models. We can currently use Bedrock, Azure, and OpenAI and ChatGPT. We're going to be also doing some additional work on different models and also different use cases, which is really cool. On the automation side, which is the focus of today's demo, Denise will be showing you live in the application. We've got some really amazing functionality, AI overviews where you can take manual scripts and create automated scripts, as well as using the latest Anthropic models that can do autonomous testing using AI robot and real-time test time compute to infer an application live. There's lots of different use cases already in the system. In the previous version, 8.2, we had some functionality to generate test data and be able to convert manual scripts into automation. The latest version, we've taken that a step further. We've added that, first of all, support for other models like Bedrock and other Amazon models running through Bedrock like Claude, Llama. And we've also got the ability to do navigating application in real time using UI Robot and the ability to do real-time inspection using visual tools like UI Tester, which we'll be showing you more of. In the roadmap, we've got lots coming up. We're going to be supporting Gemini in the future as well. For those who have Google as one of their platforms, we're also going to be adding additional agentic workflows, which will leverage data in Spira in Rapise to improve the automated testing experience. So we do see these two platforms coming together increasingly on the AI side of things to deliver a seamless experience. So some of the things we'll be showing you today, although Denise will be taking this live in the application. In Rapise, you can first of all connect to different models. In the most recent release, 8.3, we did add support for Amazon Bedrock. We previously supported just the OpenAI models. In the next release coming out in a few months, we'll be also doing Gemini. And with that, we can take the interactive agent in Rapise and we can interact with it, talk to it, and it will be able to take natural language actions and interactively turn that into Rapise automation code. The other thing we can do is we can even do that in the chat live in the system, and it will turn it into the code that you can just apply straight into your test. The other thing we can do is decide, well, let's skip out the middleman and let's actually write our test in natural language. So we even have an AI option where you can write your scenario in AI using, for example, I'm saying log in, wait 5 seconds, log out. That's basically English. It's not code. And from that, it will then turn that into the equivalent Rapise code automatically. You don't need to have a separate chat agent or a back and forth. So we've got both the interactive mode where you can talk to an agent and it helps you write the code, and we've got the ability to use the natural language directly in the test script instead of code. It does generate code behind the scenes, and you can still preview it and give feedback and correct it. And then the last piece, really, which was new in this version, was using the new AI robot feature, where you can even skip all of the object recognition and some of the traditional test automation elements, which make maintenance more difficult. And you can use the agentic workflows, where you're actually able to have the application interact with the application as it sees it and make real-time inferences, meaning that if it sees the application is slightly different, it can adapt in real time because it is literally taking your instructions and applying a chain of thought to it to see, oh, look, the page came up. This is what I've been told to do. How do I interpret this page in light of these very, very high level natural language instructions? So basically the idea here is, as we go a step further and further in AI, is removing the steps for failure, removing the need to have us talking in pseudocode, but actually talking in really natural language in business scenarios. I mean, the goal is that a business person can write a business scenario and the system can do the testing, and then a human can check the testing and give feedback, as opposed to us doing a lot of manual coding, manual scripting to do that task. That's the direction of travel which we and the industry are on. We believe we are at the forefront of that, and it's really exciting times. So I think with that, I'm going to hand over to Denise to take on the live application demo.
So this is Rapise. And first, I want to show you how we did test case development before AI came into Rapise. So the idea was you create modules or page objects. For example, here I have a page object for the login page of our library information system, and it knows how to open the page, how to enter password, username, and so on. So I implemented this thing before, and I already have one test case that was built using like archaic approach. We may say it right now. So that is using this page object. So here you can see the normal test case. There are thousands of such test cases that our customers created, tens of thousands. So let's see what has changed with the appearance of Rapise 8.2, and Rapise 8.3 builds on top of that. So we added the ability to use AI command in Rapise. So this is another test case. And here we have the same scenario. Actually, let me run this scenario so you will see what it does. So it should simply open the application and then enter username, password, and log out, I think, and maybe even close the browser after that. So let's see. Yes, this is how it works. And this is the new approach. Once you have these page objects implemented, you may use natural language to define your test cases. So what we have here, we use AI command and simply explain what we want to do. So we want to navigate to the login page. So this description is how you understand it. So it does not have any specific format, so it doesn't need to follow any rules. So you just explain what you want to do. Enter librarian into username, password, click the login button, check that welcome message is displayed, and log out. So these AI commands are translated into executable code using AI. So let me show you AI panel. So I can select several AI commands, then click Show AI panel, and I will see all the generated code for these commands. So here you can see that AI generated calls to my page object to open the page, to enter username, enter password, and so on. So you may use different LLM providers or AI providers on the market. So to configure them, you need to go to View AI Dashboard. So let's hide this panel for a second. So let's go to Settings. And here you may connect to Amazon Bedrock, different models. It can be Anthropic Claude, it can be Nova, and a lot of other models that they provide. Also, you can use OpenAI models hosted by OpenAI, by Microsoft Azure. And in Rapise 8.4, you will be able to use Gemini models as well. So here we selected Amazon Bedrock. Actually, any of these models generate code pretty good. So we'll use Bedrock here as an example. So let's return back to our test case. And let me create a new sheet here. And I will call it demo. And let me add some empty command here, like login as librarian. So in some cases, I may not describe my test case step by step. I may just go higher level. So login as librarian. So let's see what we'll have with AI. So what it will generate for us. So I just selected this command and I'm clicking here, generate code. So fingers crossed, and it should generate a multi-line code that will do what we need. So you can see that it is using a login page object, does open, enters credentials, and clicks login button. And if you will have many of such page objects, AI should figure out which of them to use to implement specific scenario that you are trying to implement. So here on short version tab, I have the full scenario in a short form. So login, check that login is successful, and log out. And once code is generated, you don't need to use AI when you replay your test. So you don't spend money on tokens and you don't lose time communicating with AI when you are just running your test. So you already have all this code generated. So let's return back to AI dashboard and see what we have in chats section. So here you may see that all interactions with AI that I do using AI panel, these interactions are logged, and you may find any interaction here, any chat, and you may see the real communication. So, and see what was sent to AI, what was reported back, and you may even continue chatting here to achieve a better result. So, for example, here, I may even create a scenario, and I may create a sequence of AI commands if I want. So let's create a new chat. And there are different types of chats here. So let's do like this scenario from from image. So that's one of my favorite. So I can select an image with a screenshot of my application, or I may connect to the browser if it is already running. So let's use a login page. Like here we go. And here I will say generate a login scenario. And sending this to AI, it should understand the image, what I want, and it just generated the sequence of steps. So I can apply, move it aside. So I may apply the steps. So let's click apply, and let's create one more sheet here, generated scenario. And let's add the steps that were just generated. So, and here you may even see that AI can generate parameters, and I may pass parameters to AI commands from somewhere. So these parameters may be parameters of my testing framework, or they may be defined in some external spreadsheet, and so on. So then once I have this scenario here, I may generate code for each AI command, or I may change any of this command if I don't like it. I may delete it, I may add more. So this is very, very flexible. So let's now, from a single test case, move on to creation of the whole testing framework, from the requirements till manual tests until automated tests. So let's see how it works with Rapise and Spira. So first of all, let's go and create some requirement. So in many cases, you already have a system, like we have library information system, but we never captured any requirements for this very, very simple application. But I want some. So for this purpose, I will go to AI dashboard, and I will create a simple chat here. Here we go. And I will add the screenshot of the login page again. And I have some prompt already recorded here. So, and it's pretty simple. So please write a requirement for this login screen of the application. And I know that there are a few logins that we may use to successfully log in. They're like librarian, and borrower. So let's send it. And here we will get the requirement for authentication in our very, very simple application. So here we go. So it should be something meaningful. So this is the system. It should provide these fields. These are logins that you may use for successful login and something else. So I will copy it to the clipboard, and then I will go to Spira. So here in Spira, I'm in requirements section, and let me create a new requirement here. Here we go. I just created it, and let me go inside it and place my requirement text inside it into detailed information section. So in my instance of Spira, I have a couple of Spira apps installed. So let's go to Spira apps management. And here you can see that I have Spira apps for AWS Bedrock and ChatGPT. And I may use any of these LLMs to generate test cases, tasks, and steps for test cases and some other things. So let's return back to requirements. Here we go. I go inside my requirement. And now I will ask LLM to generate test cases for us. So I need to configure, of course, this LLM. So I need to specify some API keys. So I should have account with these LLMs. And so now Spira just connected to LLM, asked to generate data, and created artifacts inside itself. So here you may see some token spending. And let's see what was created. I just navigate to test coverage tab here. And you may see that a few test cases were generated here. So let's click on some of these test cases, what we have inside it. And we even have some steps already generated. So here, so once you have a test case generated, what you need to do is, it's a manual test case. It was generated by AI. It needs some review by a human. So maybe some wrong data was used that you don't want to use, and maybe the sequence of steps that you see here is wrong. So what you may do, you may reorder the steps if you need. So navigate to the page, then enter the username. Here we go. One more change. Password, click login button, check welcome message, and verify that we are redirected to dashboard. Let's see
Looking
what we
good.
use here. Sample data. I don't want this data, so I will change it to librarian. And I will change the password to the correct one as well. Here we go. And I have a manual test. So ideally, I need to run it, make sure it works, and make sure that some other manual tester can execute it and it works. So if it works, then AI will probably understand it and will be able to convert this manual test to an automated one. So let's now go back to Rapise. So into our framework. This framework is already saved into Spira. So you can see it here. So let's now just import our test cases from Spira into Rapise. So to do that, I need to install some public module into Rapise. There are plenty of them. And I need Rapise utils. Here we go. It takes a while to install. All right. And this module has do import manual action. So I will just run it. And I should be prompted to select some folder where manual test cases are located. I will use this folder with our test cases. So I choose load folder, and import is performed by Rapise utils. And after that, test cases will be created in this framework. So should be finished soon. Okay. 11
And it's pulling in all the tests in that folder, right, Dennis?
Right. Yeah, it just pulled all the tests from that folder. So let's now go to our successful login as librarian, expand it, and let's look at manual steps. And here we should see exactly same steps as we have in Spira that work. And now we will try to convert those steps, so this manual test into automated test. So here we have AI button, so convert to AI steps. So click in here and append into end. Here we go. So now I see that those AI commands are in terms of my page object. So I can just select this, choose show AI panel. And here there is a big magic wand that will generate code for all the commands. So let's see how it will perform. So I hope it will use our page object and will generate the code that we need. Okay, so one by one. So take some time. So some models are faster, some models are slower. So, and now we will see the result. And if we don't like any line, we may try to regenerate it, or we may try to edit it by hand. So if there are some slight tweaks that may improve the command. So we already generated code for the login. And once it's completed and we have this test case working, we may proceed with another test case. And if more manual test cases will appear in Spira, will be generated or created by hand, we may repeat our import process, and it will load all the new data from Spira. It will load new manual tests. It will update modified manual tests. So we may do this cycle many times. So this is what usually happens when you do some software development or test development. Okay, what we have here, open, enter username, enter password, click login. So check welcome message, logged in as librarian. Maybe it's correct. And do wait for visible. So we don't, so far we don't have, we don't know in our framework about dashboard page. So probably we don't need this step because it will fail. So what we may do here is, let's hide this panel and simply let's comment this last comment, or we may even delete it. So let's run this test case and see how it will work. So hopefully it will do the login and it will check that the login was successful. Okay, so it really works. So it's magic. So it works. So this is what I wanted to show about AI comments. Another thing that you can do using AI is, so you may need to get data from somewhere, and in some scenarios, you may need to generate data, and you may use AI for this as well. So we can go to AI dashboard, and let's create one more chat here. And let's use generate data list here. And let's do something like generate 10 fake AI company names. So everyone is doing AI these days. So I want to start my own company. So here we have some ideas.
Wow, they sound almost
So
plausible.
yeah, what we may do next is we may insert, so we may edit this list. If we don't like something, we may delete it, or we may correct something, and we may apply this list and insert it somewhere in Rapise. So let's create a new sheet, or better, okay, let's create a new sheet here. Let's name it data demo and insert this list here. So here we go. So we have our list, and we have a map. So in Rapise, you may define data maps right inside RVL, and you may use this map in your testing scenario if you need. Also, using AI chats, you may generate whole tables of data. Like, for example, I need users with some fake addresses, city, zip code, street address, and so on. And you will get it in seconds. And you will get it inserted into RVL without any problems. So very fast. So let's go to other things that are more specific to Rapise 8.3. In Rapise 8.3, we created two public modules that you may install and use in your testing framework. So I will start from AI tester. So I will open another framework here. And here in this framework, I have AI robot and AI tester, two public modules already installed. So if you need to install them, you just right-click modules pages, import public module, and you select them here, and they will be installed. So the purpose of AI tester is using it, you may leverage the power of AI at runtime. So when you are running your tests and you need something from AI, for example, analyze some image, analyze some text while you are executing your test, then for this purpose, you need to use AI tester. So let's go to visual checks test case here. And here you may see a few examples of how you may use AI tester. So for example, here, let's run these 2 lines to open our application. And let's minimize this. So this is our login screen. Okay, and here you can see what we have on lines 7 and 8. Here we use AI tester do web image query. It means that web image means that AI tester will grab a screenshot from the browser, what is currently displayed in our browser that we are automating, and it will send it to AI, and it will also send the query. So for example, here I have a query, count the number of text fields. So you may use AI tester to perform some advanced validation that may be in some cases hard to do using traditional methods. So I know that it's easy to count the number of edit fields, but so this is just an example. So let's play it. It should send the image to AI and the query. And as a result, so here we may see what was sent and what was returned back from AI. So we know that we have two fields. More complex things. So we have do web image verify. Like, so here we are sending the image. We are asking AI to describe what it sees on the screen, like describe UI controls or whatever. And then we have an assertion. So what we need to apply to what AI just discovered. So for example, username and password fields are visible. So we are checking that AI saw those fields on the screenshot. So let's run this. Nice selection. And it should compile a description and then run our assertion against this description. So here you may see what was returned by AI, like there is navigation menu, books, authors, and also we see username and password and the login button and some other additional thing. And of course, from this description, we may figure out that username and password fields are displayed. And this is why this assertion is not failed. Let's run another example here. So we also do verify. We are asking it, is user logged in? And our assertion is user must be logged in. So here you may see that user is not logged in. So let's run this assertion. And I expect it to fail this time because we are not logged in. Take
what will
some
happen?
time. So let's see. Okay, so we see that false was returned by assessment of the image, and we are not logged in. Okay, also we created a video about AI tester, and also more detailed description of AI tester is included in our release video for Rapise 8.3. I will just open here one more testing framework, and I will show you more examples of how you can use AI tester. So let's go here. So for example, you may compare a couple of images. So you may open some page. You may remember what is displayed in the browser. You may open another one, also remember, and then do multi-image query. Let's actually run this. So here we have 2 versions of our library information system. Actually, we have maybe 5 versions created with different platforms for library
Angular,
information
React,
system.
and so on. Yeah.
But here we have Angular and React, right? So let's run this, play this sheet. So hopefully this framework remembers connection to AI. Okay. So we just saw that 2 images were created, and let's see what's different about them. Oh, what's different between images? Okay, let me quickly go to AI dashboard and see what we have here. Local. Okay. Maybe we'll get better result if we will use some other model. Let's see. Model tested successfully. And let's run it again.
So we're testing the model and testing the test.
So I hope it should find some differences because there are some. Okay, this time it does something. Okay, let's expand it and see.
Oh, wow.
We see that second image has additional navigation links like books and authors. Check this out and some other things. So there are actually some difference, and we have this result here. What else we can do? We can do soft assertions. So we can do we can work not only with web applications, we can also work with, so let's go here. Oh, here we have just web queries, but we can also capture images of the desktop, of some window that is displayed on the screen. We can capture image of some UI control, and then we may ask AI to analyze it and do something with it. Okay, so let's now return back to the previous framework. And it's time to show where everything is hidden these days. So it's AI robot. So far we had to create a page object. We had to record the process of how to enter some field, click some button, and do some more complex things. But with AI robot, which is using computer use feature from Anthropic, that also available from AWS Bedrock, AI robot can figure out everything itself without additional explanations. So let me go to computer use here.
Make sure you have the right model, I guess.
Okay. Okay, let's start with a more complex example. And I think it should work. We should be lucky. So here what we have, we are just opening the browser. We are setting a specific size for it. So at the moment, Anthropic likes very much this size of the browser. If you will try to use another size, then it may not perform as well as you expect it to perform. But the most important thing is here. So we just say login is librarian, and then the complex thing, change the genre of the book, Gen Eyre, to detective fiction, and nothing else. We don't have any modules, any page objects here, nothing. So let's now close the browser and run it from scratch. So this AI robot will just analyze what's displayed in the browser, and with help of Anthropic computer use, it will figure out where to click, what to enter, and what to do. So let's run it. It's not very fast, but as we see how AI is evolving, a few months from now, or maybe in a year from now, it should become much faster. Okay, so here you see that it just figured out where username is located, clicked on it, entered librarian. So expecting it to do the same with password. Okay, the login. And the next part, it's like a magic because there is no any explanation where to find the books, how to edit the book, how to change genre for it. So let's see what it will do. So it should figure out that it needs to click on books link. So it analyzes the image at the moment. Okay. You see that it tried to click somewhere on near logout. This thing did not work. So it will now try something else. Oh, I clicked play the whole test case. Sorry. So it just played the first sheet in my test case. So we'll have to run it again. What it just did, so since I just clicked the green triangle here, what it did, it just executed steps from this sheet. Log in and log out. But let's run this thing. Play this sheet. And after execution, we'll look at it later, we'll see the whole conversation between Rapise and the brain that is running at Anthropic side. So how it looks at the application, what it instructs Rapise to do, where to click, what to enter, and so on. So let's see, sending keys. Fingers crossed, it should click on books. Wow. Okay, we are running the right test case, at least I can see it.
Right.
So you can see that Gen Air, this book is line 4. Okay,
And now it has to figure out how to change the genre. Yeah.
Yeah, it should expand. Wow, it was really fast. Detective fiction. Okay. And it should now save the book. There is such a button. So I'm not touching the keyboard and mouse. So
And there is a question in the chat about, does it learn these steps and speed up over time? One thing you could do is you could use this to do the first playback and then use traditional play recording and playback, I guess, to speed things up.
We may try to capture the objects and the script during playback. We don't do it right now, so it's not possible with the AI robot, but it makes sense to try. So this is what we have as a result. So you can see the thinking process of AI. So let's scroll it to the very top here. Okay, here we go. So login as librarian. I'll help you log in as librarian. Let me break this down into steps. So it figured out where is the username, type in, and this is the command that was sent to Rapise to perform. Send in keys, type in text, and so on and so on. Let me take a screenshot to verify that login is successful and so on. So we see that there is really some brain behind this process.
And we get the screenshots in that first column, right?
Yeah, so we may expand it and we see, we can see what AI was receiving to do what it needs to do.
That's great. So we're getting evidence as we're doing it. That's great.
Yeah. So, all right. So I think this is everything that I wanted to show today. We still have some time for Q&A.
Yep. And we actually have a couple of Q&A already. I think we already answered the one. Someone was asking me, Marcus, I think, about training. My understanding is, and correct me if I'm wrong, we're using foundational LLMs. We're not training these LLMs at present.
Right. So we are not using any fine tuning. We're just using conventional LLMs as is, and we are doing some reg, like retrieval augmented generation. So we are just providing the information about our framework, about what needs to be done, and it helps AI to generate what it needs to generate. So
Excellent.
I may show you some things that are typically hidden. So if we will go to AI dashboard, to settings, and here there is a magic shortcut. So it's just for selected users like you who joined this webinar. So you click Control-Shift-Q, I think, and here few more items are displayed. And here you may see, here you may configure different models to use. Here you may configure agents. And an agent actually is a selection of model and some smart prompt. So for example, we can select like data list here. And this is the prompt that is sent to AI to instruct it to do what we need. And also here we should have something scenario with vision. So another prompt. So you may create more agents yourself and define more system messages or system prompts and instruct it to generate what you need. And there are also workflows. It is actually an agent that you select from here and the post-processing method. So what you want to do with the result. So you may insert it as a table into Rapise, as a list into Rapise. You may insert it as a code or scenario. So there are some post-processing methods available. So this
Cool.
is like secret information about
You heard it here
configuring
first.
Rapise.
I did have another question that's not AI related, just a quick one, I think. Do we have libraries for Workday?
Libraries for what?
Workday, I think time and expense ERP system? I don't think so, right?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
So yeah, that was from
If you
someone.
want to find the list of ERP systems that we support, you may always go to online help and you may go to a user's guide, I think, or let me see here, user's guide, or maybe search for ERP.
There we go.
So
Yeah.
here is the list of, this is the list of samples. Let's go desktop
If you go to our
platforms.
website, we do have a list of the major ones, and I think we have
Yeah,
some GitHub
I cannot
repositories.
find it right now, but it should be somewhere here. So let me scroll it
Uh,
down. Oh,
I can get,
technologies. So
yeah,
yeah, it's on the left side here. So we can go to uh, desktop testing. So usually
right.
some ERP systems are desktop, and you may see what Rapise supports. And there are also like, let's select,
Web, yeah,
I think, Salesforce.
yeah. There you go.
It's here, and Dynamics. These are
It,
web-based. Oh, there are plenty of them here, web-based and desktop ones as well.
Oracle Forms
So,
is another one. Yeah.
yeah.
And I have one other question. I think we can try and squeeze it in. We do API testing a lot. How do we make use of this for API tests? The AI, I think that's referring to.
So we did not do experiments with AI testing yet, but in Rapise, AI test is actually a JavaScript program. So you may try to use chats and AI to generate code for you.
Using the, yeah, so
But
so if you set up a web
this is
service, yeah,
what we need to work on in the future versions of Rapise. Yeah.
right. But feel free to experiment. You can create API endpoints in Rapise and try it with AI and let us know, how you get on, and we can always learn from you as well. So we've got about 3 or 4 minutes left. Any other questions? Oh, hold on, I think is that another one? No, it's the same one. Answered live, done. And there was one question that was asked that they said they answered themselves. Can I list the natural language actions with parameters? And then they just said, yeah, we saw it in your example when you were changing
Mhm.
the default parameters into real ones. So I think we covered that as well. So if there's any other questions, feel free to put it in the chat or in the Q&A, or has it been verified with Oracle or Telnet? We use it with Oracle Forms or Fusion. I get mixed up. Oracle uh, ERP, correct, Dennis?
Or Oracle Forms, right?
Yeah. Telnet, with I guess terminal. We've used terminal emulators.
Yeah, if it's a terminal emulator, then Rapise can send keystrokes and mouse movements and can read from screen. Uh, and you can use it. Oh, I forgot to show one AI-based feature in
Oh,
Rapise. In Rapise 8.3, we return back OCR
oh
object.
yes.
Yeah. So and using it, you may extract text from a specific UI element on the screen, or from a window, or from a whole screen. And you may also try to click on a specific text or inside an element or a window. So this feature may calculate the pixel coordinates of text on the screen and click on it. So and this
Perfect.
is
That's great.
described in the release notes.
Yeah, and we just published a new updated all our documentation online with the latest features. So if you go into the Inflectra website and do Rapise features OCR, there's a whole bunch of information in there now as well as in the release notes. Thank you, Denise, for your excellent presentation. I mean, it really is an amazing advance in test automation. A couple of shout outs. If you want to meet the Inflectra team live, we do support Android and web API AI. We do support web already. We do support mobile already applications and Flutter. So feel that's correct. We will be at Star East, Star West, Euro, Star Automation Star, GITEX, and Testing Talks. So 2 conferences in Europe, 2 conferences in North America, 1 in Australia, and we're also attending one of the AICon event in Seattle. So actually 3 in North America. So if you are at any of those events, we'd love to see you. Come by, stop at our booth, and we can show you some of this stuff in person. So thanks again, and have a great rest of the day or evening, wherever you are.